What's up everyone, how's it going? My name is Patrick Rooney and my channel is called The Lunchtime Club, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about why you should choose to live in student accommodation. So, student accommodation, it might seem like a daunting thing, moving in with different people that you haven't met before, and I have touched on this subject before in a couple videos back, but I just wanted to dive into it properly and tell you the reasons why living in student accommodation is the best thing to do, especially if it's your first time moving out of home. Reason number one is that your bills are all included. For people moving out of home for the first time, you don't want to be worrying about like the stress and worries of paying bills every month or anything like that. It's all included for you in student accommodation, including the Wi-Fi, which you have unlimited access to, which is a pretty good deal, especially for people moving out for the first time. Reason number two is that it's safe and secure. Everyone at student accommodation has their own card key or their own fob, depending on what accommodation you go to. These are used to get into the building, to get into your own flat, and then to get into your room. So that means that there's like at least 3 stages that you need to go through with your key in order to get to your room, which makes it really difficult for anyone to come into the building at all or like break in or anything like that, which means it's pretty safe and secure. And also as a plus, most places have like 24/7 surveillance CCTV to back that up. As well as that, a lot of the time you also have someone on site acting as security 24/7. Number 3 is that they're usually close to the city centre or like where the buzz is happening in that town. So normally student accommodation is located right in the centre of the city or town that you're staying in, or in the main hub where there's tons of activities and things and events going on around you, which also makes it really easy to get around the town or city that you're staying in. As well as like after a night out, if you want to go back home safely, then you can, because it's quite close to where you've been out. This is something that is definitely a good thing about Glasgow. A lot of the student accommodation is either right in the city centre of Glasgow or in the West End, and that's where there's tons of different student aimed activities and events going on like non-stop throughout the year. Not just Freshers Week, but throughout the whole year there's stuff going on in Glasgow. So that's like the best thing about staying in student accommodation here. Number 4 is that you will learn how to budget. Once you start doing your own thing, like having your own hobbies or doing activities that you like, as well as like doing your food shop, your laundry, paying for transport around the city or town that you're in, it all adds up in the monthly costs or even like the weekly costs, which means that you have to budget quite well with what you're spending. Staying in student accommodation means that you're going to have to use your money wisely, which is something that I sometimes struggle with because I'm quite spontaneous, and I use the phrase "oh well" quite a lot. A little bit too much, but there you go. Budget wisely. 5. You will experience how to live with other people. Whether you've booked a flat with mates or you're in a flat with complete strangers that you don't know if they're from different countries or anything like that, you're going to have to learn what it's like to live with other people, like share a kitchen and a living space all the time. It means that you're going to be able to like respect everyone's space and their belongings in the kitchen or anything like that, but also means that you're going to have to learn how to be patient, especially if someone is cooking and the kitchen is quite busy and you're going to have to wait to cook your food. Now that is a trial and a half. However, if you're someone who's moving out of home for the first time into student accommodation, this is the best move for you because you'll really appreciate what it's like having your own flat once you leave student accommodation, or even if you move back into student accommodation after your first year at uni or college or something like that. The second time round you're going to really appreciate it once you have your own space and you'll know how to handle things, which is perfect for people moving out of home for the first time. Number 6, now this is a very important one, and I'm pretty sure like all students do this, like everyone does this. I don't know anyone who hasn't struggled with it at all, and that is using your space wisely. Because the majority of the rooms in student accommodation are quite confined and small, like compact spaces, it means that you're going to have to use that space wisely. Now, if you're moving out of home for the first time, that's going to be quite difficult because you're going to have tons of stuff there you're just going to bring with you, and you will accumulate more things once you move into that student accommodation. Like you're going to gather so much stuff in your room that it's going to build up quite quickly. This just means that you're going to have to be way more space. This just means that you're going to have to be way more space conscious. I definitely struggle with this because I've got so much stuff and I just gather so much more equipment and gear and things like that it just builds my room up so quickly. So really you need to stay on top of that, and I find it difficult myself. But that's definitely a lesson you will learn in student accommodation, and it's one of the reasons why, because once you live there in such a small space, you're gonna really know how to work your space once you get into like your own flat or apartment. It will be a lesson that you've learned fully by the time you finish student accommodation, believe me. And number 7 is confidence. Now I've said this before in videos, but the reason why you should really move to student accommodation is because your confidence will grow so much. Now if you're someone who's moving out of home for the first time, is quite unsure of how they'll handle living in student accommodation, just do it, because that's what I was like. I wasn't sure about who I was going to live with or what they were going to be like or how I should act around them. But if you're just yourself, I know it's hard if you're not very confident at the moment, but once you move out into student accommodation, your confidence will grow so much. And that is like the best thing that I've experienced from living in student accommodation, and it's allowed me to properly be the person that I want to be and interact with people the way I like to be interacted with. That sounded weird. I've learned to treat people the way I would like to be treated, which is a really key thing, and that's something that student accommodation definitely teaches you. As well as being confident in yourself, you'll also learn how great it is to have your own space and also to not have any curfews. Well, that's all I have for you guys today, but thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And let me know the reasons that you had towards moving to student accommodation and see if I missed anything out. And I will see you next time with a brand new video. Thanks guys, bye.